Should you add a cover letter to your resume? We're going to talk about that next. People ask me all the time, did you read my cover letter? And my answer is no. In 30 years, I think I've read 2 cover letters in my whole life. Any HR person that tells you they read cover letters is a liar. And I'll tell you straight up why. The average recruiter, the average HR person, the average hiring manager looks at your resume for 7 seconds before going to the next resume. 7 seconds they spend looking at your resume. Now here's the thing, people are like, well, why do they ask for a cover letter? A lot of HR departments ask for stuff they don't even look at. I don't know why, I wish I knew. Efficient HR departments don't usually do that. Because what happens is if you write a cover letter, and I've seen some that look like novels, that tells me from what the guy did from when he was in 2nd grade, and his Weeblo badge that he got in Boy Scouts, all the way up to being at the bar mitzvah for his best friend. I don't need to know all that stuff. I don't need to see the same words of I'm an aggressive go-getter, strong work ethic, binga banga boonga, I don't care. It's self-promotion. I know you're not going to say in there, I have some problems with getting to work on time and I really don't want to do this. I'd rather be fishing, but I have to find a job. You know, no one writes those. They write that I'm all this and I'm wonderful. Good. I don't have time. Any HR person that has time to read 3 pages of cover letter is in the wrong job. I've got a couple seconds, I look at the resume, I make a determination whether I'm going to follow up. But you got to remember, your resume comes into almost all companies in the United States via an applicant tracking system. It comes in, the resume sorted by title and what you do, and the cover letter goes into a vault. It can be recalled by the recruiter in the applicant tracking system, but I've managed recruiters, I've managed 40 and 45 recruiter departments before. I have hardly ever had a recruiter go back into the vault, back into the ATS, and pull the guy's cover letter out to read it. No one has time for that. The only time that we actually do that is if we want to see if the person will travel, if the person will relocate. But all of that is really taken care of when you apply on ZipRecruiter or whatever system it may be, Career Builder, where we put the questions in. Are you willing to relocate? If this job does require relocation and you put no, it's going to throw you out. I'm not even going to see your resume. I'm telling you, I'm not even going to see your resume. If it says in this job you have to relocate and you click no, I've set the parameters up where it's going to throw you into the bin. It's going to just file you. I'll never see you. The recruiter will never see you. If it says, how much travel will you do? And the job description says it's a road warrior, and you check the little box that says 0 to 10% is what you'll do, boom. I'm never going to see your resume. It gets thrown into the bin. I only sort by those people that match the job description and those requirements. Have to relocate, have to travel, have to be flexible, have to have this particular skill A, B, and C. If you don't have that, what good's a cover letter going to do you? I'm not even going to see your resume, let alone your cover letter. You're wasting time. You're wasting your time and you're wasting your money. If you go to one of these resume services and are like, hey, for $150 or $200, we'll write you a killer cover letter. Don't buy that. Don't buy the book that says cover letters that kill. They don't. They destroy. No one reads them. You're wasting your money. Don't do it. The only time that I've ever heard in 30 years of doing this, anybody say, hey, a cover letter really caught my attention, is I had somebody, and this is a great idea, he mailed a paper resume and a cover letter to the CEO. And not saying CEOs don't have as much time as HR people, but the CEO is not looking through 1,000 resumes a day like I am. So he opened it up, and just for giggles, he was like, it was 5 or 6 o'clock at night. He just decided to read it. He had some interest. He read his cover letter. He sent it down to me. He said, bring this guy in. That's a little bit different. That's a marketing tool. You can do a cover letter if it's unsolicited and you just want to go work for this company and you're like, hey, I'll write a letter to the CEO and I'll add a cover letter. That's when cover letters work. when they haven't advertised for it and you're like, look, hey, I'm just letting you know, I do this, this, and this. I'm on the market. I'm interested in your company. I think I can bring value. Short and sweet. Just what I said, send it to the CEO. CEO will bump it down to HR. Don't send it to HR, they'll block it and it won't get up to anybody. But send it to the CEO. CEO will throw it down to HR and say, hey, bring this person in, I'm really interested. But if they've run an ad, you got to remember, even people that are not qualified for this job are flooding the recruiter. Don't put a cover letter on. It's a waste of time. Only do it if it's an unsolicited job and you're going to go say, hey, I'd like to work for this company. I never saw an ad or anything, but I just want to work for you. Send that to the CEO. Don't put a cover letter in. I don't even see them. I'm telling you, man. They just get thrown over into a section of the applicant tracking software that I never see and the recruiter never sees unless we manually ask for it to be pulled up to take a look at it, and it never happens. Hardly ever happens, I should say. Don't write cover letters. Don't spend money on them. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of money. Boom.